Okay, so if we're in the key of C, 3, 4, 5 is, but 7 root 2 is. Okay, you just have to decide that. You have to know that. What is the key of the song? So you're playing along with some song. Someone's playing a nice song, and you're doing a 7 root 2. And you say, wow, this little ditty sounds good. Well, okay, 7 root 2 would be characteristic of the E-shaped pentatonic scale, right? So if you end up doing one of these, all right, that would tell you that you're in 7 root 2. Okay, because you're in an E shape. E shape has an S2L right there on the second or third string. Whereas 3, 4, 5 would be down here. Okay, that's an S2L right there. So you kind of sound it out. You figure out if you're on a 7 root 2 or 3, 4, 5. So you're on a 3, 4, 5, let's say. You're just improvising. You find out this is the C shape here. Okay. Now what I was explaining was, let me slow down for you. When you go up one string, all right, first of all, you're going to play this 3 by going up. But we're going to find out when you go up one string to the next note, okay, it's going to, just up one string, let's say on the string cycle. So what did we determine? That it was going up one string was going to take us to a G there. So C would go to G, right? So where would that C be located? It would be located in the G box. Here's the G box. Okay, where's the 3? Right there. There's no other cage shape other than the G shape that has the 3 on the second string in that position. Okay? Additionally, all right, there's the outer note. If you go up one string and over to the outer note, you have to add a cage shape. So, from the G shape, remember G shape is the 6, 7 root. If you go to the R, which is the outer note in the key of C, or the 7R2, that only adds a cage shape. So there's overlap there. See how 6, 7R shares the 7R2. So that goes up one cage shape going up. So it would go from 6, 7 root, which would be a G shape, to an E shape. Okay, and there it is. There's your E shape right there. If you were going from this note to this note, where would you find that R? You'd find it in the E shape. You'd find it in the E shape cage. Let's look at the E shape cage. All right, over here, we should find an R in the cage past the E shape cage, which is right there. We're right back where we started. Right, so sometimes you have to add an extra cage shape there for the outer note. All right, so the string cycles circle is a little difficult to explain sometimes, but let me just recapitulate that what we're doing here is treating each of these string fragments as if they were the bottom string here and starting them anywhere, and then making a magic circle transition or even a cage transition, but mostly magic circle transitions. Okay? So, and what I want to do, and it's in the next chart. So let's move on to the next chart. We're going to skip it's got the same thing here. We're going to skip the S3XL. Just remember with the S3XL, play into the next into the next cage shape. So just play it into the next cage shape. In the case of the 5/6, it goes, it makes a magic circle transition because there's an accidental there. In the case of the root 2, 3, 4, it does like a cage shape transition from D to C here. In case of the 4, 5, 6, it does a cage shape transition because the 6 is shared. So here's an A transitioning to a G cage, C, A, G. So let's go forward now with the next chart, pentatonic versus diatonic string movement. All right, this is a difficult subject, but I'm sure it's not so bad. So here's the diatonic and here's the pentatonic scale fragments. They're supposed to be easier. The same thing applies. So I've practically lost my voice, but I'm still going to read this. Diatonic string rule. These are the diatonic string fragments that now are going to be assigned their own cage shape. So you see a 5/6. 5/6. C, D. Okay, what's the fifth of C is the fifth of F. So that's an F. It's an F. 5/6 is going to be the A shape. 2, 3, 4 is going to be the C shape. Okay, so it's time to realize how versatile this is. You're just doing a little. You're just doing a little ditty. You realize that you got to make a decision whether this half step, whole step is a 3, 4, 5 or is a 7 root 2. You determine that. It can be determined, okay? Because you can't play if you play a major scale off of if you mix up a 3, 4, 5 with a 7 root 2, you're going to go a fourth up. So if I've got if I'm in the key of C, okay, 3, 4, 5 is Phrygian, but if I mix it up, it would be in the key of F. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's just read because we have to move along. Diatonic string rule, there is a black note in between each diatonic string shape, and you must use the magic circle or every other shape in the cage circle. So here it is, no overlapping notes in the magic circle. Okay, now over here, and it says, note all string shape assignments are bottom string labeled on the fretboard. Try pentatonic labels, but the bottom string shapes can be played from any string. I'm really having trouble reading these things, but pentatonic string rule, using the same bottom string notes minus the 7th to the 4th, because it's pentatonic, as a diatonic. You advance to the next cage shape by starting on the same note from that shape below. There's no accidental in between a cage shape transition, string frag transition. C going to A, we don't have an accidental in between 5 and 5. They're the same note. Okay, so the subject of this particular chart, we've already discussed it. I discussed it in the last chart. I got into it right away. The difference between diatonic and pentatonic is the difference between a magic circle transition. See, here's diatonic magic circle transitions, and then pentatonic use the cage circle. Okay, now I'm not sure that's the way it is for pentatonic, and it goes along with the cage circle. But you can do magic circle pentatonic transitions they're not just going to be, they're just not going to be cage transitions.